Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2019 horror film Mary, a film that is directed by Michael Goy and it stars Gary Oldman and Emily Mortimer. And this focuses on a family who have grown up around ships and boats, very comfortable on the sea. Their dad, Gary Oldman, David, works as like a tourist, like fisherman, ship captain, but he's always wanted his own ship so that they can go out and make their own way in the world and do their own business, fishing trips, etc. And he goes regularly to the boat auctions, and he goes one day to a boat auction and he sees the boat Mary, an old boat that needs a lot of work doing to it, and he falls in love with this boat. But what he doesn't realise is that this boat comes with a very shaky past, in the sense of everybody who's ever owned this boat previously has always either gone missing or died, which you see a little bit of at the beginning. He manages to convince his wife, played by Emily Mortimer, Sarah, that they can get the funds together to buy this boat. They go ahead, do it up, and they head out onto the open sea to give it a test drive, if you like, test sail. And things, as you can imagine, don't go particularly well from that moment on. So that's the basic plot here of Mary. Now, this film is a bit odd. It's got Gary Oldman in it, and Emily Mortimer for that matter. What are they doing here? Now, I'm not saying this is a terrible film, because I don't think it's a terrible film. It's certainly watchable. It's just so generic, this, and predictable, and doesn't offer anything new to the genre. I don't understand what attracted Emily Mortimer and certainly Gary Oldman to the project. I don't imagine it was a big payer either. I just don't get it. Maybe he was doing a favour for a friend, who knows. But yeah, I just couldn't figure why he was in this film. Now, his name is probably going to sell this film maybe more than other actors, but don't necessarily be fooled here, guys, because this is a pretty by the numbers generic haunted boat film, which we've seen before in other films. He's got some cheap scares here and there, some reasonably effective scares occasionally. I'm not saying it's completely scareless and genuinely scareless, because there are a couple of genuine scares here and there. There's some good music, there's some good use of music to enhance the tension, and there are some pretty effective scenes here and there. There's some, scenes of them, like Emily Mortimer like crawling through these cupboards, and then the classic click on the lighter and someone's behind her sort of thing, and what you see behind her is pretty scary stuff. But this film suffers because it's just so damn predictable, and it's so damn generic. You just know what's coming next each time. You get the kid who's affected, the youngest kid who's affected by this so-called spirit, drawing pictures of it, and the older daughter's boyfriend goes mad, and the co-captain, Gary Oldman's friends, co-captain Mike, goes a bit mad. Everybody starts slowly losing them. It's just you could line them up and knock them over like dominoes, the things you expect to see in this film, and you see them all. And this film, I think, commits a cardinal crime at the beginning. You get a scene at the beginning of the film with a character being interviewed by the police explaining what happened, which immediately removes any tension in regards to that character and the characters connected to that character. As she says at the beginning, makes a comment about these characters. I'm trying not to give spoilers away, but this character is interviewed by the police, and you know that this character survives. And then about halfway through you think, oh, I know what's going to happen at the end now with this police interview and stuff. And lo and behold, it does happen. So it's just palm-faced predictability, this film, unfortunately. But it's well made. I mean, because it's on the sea and stuff, I'm sure some of it will have been filmed on set. It looks pretty beautiful at times. I believe the relationship between Gary Oldman and Emily Mortimer. They're both veteran actors here. They know what they're doing, and I did buy the family dynamics for the most part. But about 3/4 of the way through, it's almost like they felt like they had to move this film on, and you get some of the worst investigation stroke exposition scenes you're ever going to see in a film. It's like they come across this evidence, and it doesn't explain well how they get this evidence, especially when you consider they're on the open sea. That explains all these disappearances of all these previous captains of this boat, and which destination they're all heading, and they're all heading in the same place, and they tie it all together. And Gary Oldman does that thing, and I don't understand why he doesn't challenge this. He's an experienced actor. He does that thing where he's reading it and he's talking at the same time, i.e. he's talking to us. Like, when you and I are reading things, we don't read out loud, we just read it. He talks to us. That drives me mad in films. So yeah, that scene was unforgivable in my opinion, that convenient investigation and exposition scene. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It's ultimately a very, very disappointing film with some decent ideas in here, and it's a well-made film with decent performances. But for the life of me, I have no idea why Gary Oldman is in this film, or Emily Mortimer. I really, really don't. So that's my review for Mary. I hope you found it enjoyable and useful. If you did, please click the like button. And of course, I will see you next time on Screen Stars for more reviews. Thanks for watching, everybody.